Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And now, if you're with Smile Direct Club, don't sue me. Now, I know that company's out of business, so I don't think I can get sued anymore, but I'm not saying anything that I necessarily believe. I'm just repeating what someone else said. So anyways, I was listening to this great podcast, and I think I referenced it on some of my previous videos as well. But for those of you who are not orthodontists, this is a great podcast if you want something that's a little bit more complex. It's called Orthodontic Pearls Podcast. For a while, I wasn't listening to these ortho podcasts just because it was just a bitch session where they were just moaning and whining and being victims about what's going on with the general dentist taking all of our cases and Smile Direct Club and Bite and all that. And it was just bitch, whine, and no changes. So I stopped listening to pretty much all the ortho-focused podcasts, but now they're finally being innovative. And I don't know if they're listening to my stuff or if they're just realizing that if they don't reinvent themselves, be more interdisciplinary focused, nobody wants to go to the orthodontist every 4 weeks. Sorry, you're not that exciting to be around. Nobody wants to be in an orthodontist office that's loud and noisy and full of babies crying. That's just how it is. So unless they reinvent their experience and respect the patient's time a little bit more and the parents' time, patients are going to go to GPs and pediatric dental offices if they can be fast, do a good job, and not do a 2 to 3 year treatment plan, and be willing to not do braces, So, this was a great podcast. I referenced it before. It was almost an hour and a half long. It was literally just full of nuggets. I was like, yes. Everything. I literally was so excited. I was on a hike while I was listening to it, and I was just like cheering. But anyways, I highly recommend it. Orthodontic Pearls, the episode, I don't think I see an episode number, but it was posted 2 days ago. So that would have been, it's a Tuesday. So that would have been March 11th. Oh, that's my son's birthday. March 11th, 2025 was when it was posted. The title is Dr. Adam Schulhoff, Orthodontic Innovations, Success with Practicing 3 Different Demographics and Relationship Journeys. That is the terrible title. If you're with Orthodontic Pearls Podcast, please talk to me about your titles. This is really bad. But anyways, great episode. I would totally listen to it. But one thing they started talking about is Smile Direct Club botch cases and how this has become an opportunity for them in their ortho practice. And I think GPs are also having the opportunity. I think they're just afraid to deal with it. I know in our offices, we've seen plenty of SDC patients that came back looking for retreat, looking for attention, looking to finish treatment. And they're not all botched at all. Matter of fact, some of them are great, like as good as we could do. If the case was appropriate for an attachmentless, IPR-less, extraction-less, aligner system and the patient was compliant, well, guess what? The sucker works. So it's just a matter of if it was appropriate. And, they had hundreds of different doctors, some general dentists, some pediatric dentists, some orthodontists, some periodontists, and they were doing treatment plans, and it's just kind of luck of the draw. Some of the doctors were amazing and said no, and some just did whatever. So anyways, I'm not going to get into that. But in any case, listen to that episode, see how they are making an opportunity out of past Smile Direct Club patients, even if they weren't finished. And they're finding certain trends, and I've seen this as well, which is basically they found the biggest mistake that Smile Direct Club did is they accepted single arch cases. My goodness, I've been saying this for how long? If you look at my YouTube channel, Straightsmile Solutions, and you put in the keyword single arch, you will see like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And if you do it, here's the things you need to check, and never discount the price, because a lot of times it's just going to turn into a train wreck and you're going to have to do dual arch to finish. And trust me, patients are not going to pay you more to finish it if it gets jacked. So these were all things I've been saying for 8 years, in my YouTube channel. But they basically said, the biggest mistake that they see is that a lot of the Smile Direct Club patients are having severe jaw pain and TMD pain and headaches and neck aches. And I was like, yes. I've been telling you this too. I have an entire playlist called, I forgot what it is. Hang on. Speaking of bad titles, now I just made fun of their title and my title is going to be bad. I probably need to rename it. But let me tell you the title of this playlist that I want you to check out in my YouTube channel. Beyond Straight Teeth, Ortho, Cervical Chiro, and OMT. Actually, that's not a bad title. And it's just everything that's, I call it fringy orthodontics, like crunchy fringy, creepy crunchy fringy. You know, like it's some of it, it's just not full research is not there yet. It takes time to do good research and it takes money to do good research. And unless there's money in something, nobody's gonna do the good research. It might be junk research. And if it's junk research, the orthodontist is gonna look at it and say, well, this doesn't work because it's junk research. It says it doesn't work. So, you know, whether, you know, going into do bonded retainers cause problems with your jaw? I mean, I talked about that earlier today. There's some research that says it does. You know, to cervical chiro, I went through a whole experience, if you go through this channel, about I was having headaches and jaw pain. And some speech issues. I knew I had a bit of a tongue thrust. And I said, you know what, enough's enough. I preach you gotta get rid of this before ortho. Let me go through the experience of getting rid of it. And I went through the whole OMT, cervical chiro, and release surgery, and changed my life. It really did. It wasn't cheap. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't cheap. Because I didn't get any discounts, nor did I get it for free. I went through everything that you guys would go through if you were a patient. But it was definitely life-changing. So I would definitely check out that entire playlist. Like I said, this is some fringy orthodontics, but if you are on a coast or in an affluent area or in a crunchy area, be it Oregon, you know, Washington State, New Mexico, you know, Colorado, or in a crunchy city in a more conservative state, you're going to have these patients coming in. And actually it was interesting. They even talked about them. I don't remember what they talked about, how they talked about. They said, don't dismiss them because they may not be wrong. They may have a point. Sometimes you got to, and it was really funny. Sorry, I'm getting really into this because literally the stuff it's so nice sometimes to listen to ortho podcasts because we have similar experiences. Some of the quotes that I heard in residency that are always in my head, they were quoting. And even though they were probably younger than me. But one thing they said, one of my professors told me, never treat a single 40-plus-year-old woman. It's a red flag, especially if they have cats or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard that many times. And to be honest, I kind of believed that. Because every 40-plus-year-old woman that was single, like never been married, no kids, stuff like that, they were kind of kooky. But then again, okay, you try to be 40, 50, it's a kooky time as a female. You know, your body's doing all weird things. It's like being a teenager again. So you just got to get control of stuff. So I don't blame these women, but yeah, I mean, they're a little kooky. So, but not all the stuff they say is wrong. And I heard a lot about these headaches and jaw pains and stuff. And a lot of times, guess what? It's not their jaw and it's not their head. It is their bite. And this is what these guys were talking about. And they said they started noticing it in SmileDirectClub patients because they would treat single arch. They wouldn't balance the bite. There would be a problem with the envelope of motion, you know, almost like an underbite, a restrictive envelope of motion where they had either fremitus or a premature contact, and they would try to slide their jaw back so they wouldn't be hitting, but that causes a lot of pain, you know, because they didn't do IPR on the bottom for a Bolton, or they tried to do an upper arch only treatment to close a gap and they created a premature contact. So any type of premature contact or unbalanced bite that is just now trapped by a retainer is a disaster for pain, you know, and they're going to end up going everywhere. They're going for TMD surgery. They're going to go to the neurologist thinking they have headaches or brain cancer. And guess what? It's their freaking bite. This, you know, so anyways, check it out. Listen to that. And, you know, don't dismiss your SDC patients. It was interesting also because they said that they were giving the SDC patients a massive discount because they'd already forked out $2,000 for treatment and didn't get it finished. And they said they used the research. They collected data and research and testimonials, you know, just in case one of these direct consumers ever came back. It was interesting. I don't know if they published it or not. I've never seen it, but fascinating, very fascinating. Hope this helps. And by the way, rumor has it, SDC has rebranded under a different name, a lot of the same people, and they're doing more retainers than treatment, but they're doing treatment again, but maybe in a different way. So the company does exist. It's just a different name, and I'm not going to call it out because I don't want all you guys giving them traffic. But I mean, I never had a huge problem with it. Obviously, I was on their startup team, and I'm not going to go into that. But when done appropriately to the right patient, it works fine. Just like plenty of orthodontists are doing almost no check-ins now. I mean, obviously now you got to have x-rays though. I mean, sorry, that And plenty of SDC patients did send in their x-rays. So you send them in, yeah, if it's an appropriate case, great. All right, I'm not gonna get into that because like I said, I don't wanna get sued. All right, I'll talk to you later.